Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social in association with freebets.com, Empire Fight Store and Forged Irish Stout. It is a pleasure. Mr. Sonny Edwards, vibing to the music. Bit strange the music in here, to be fair.
Nah, it's getting.
Come on, you ain't listening to this.
Backwards again with a run again.
How are you, brother?
Yeah, I'm good. Got here yesterday for Lyndon's big fight. Massive event. Yeah, it's been good so far.
Was there ever any doubt in you not coming?
Nah, no doubt.
I love that attitude, by the way.
No doubt, man. Didn't matter what happened. As long as I was physically able to, I was here, man. I love boxing. I stay around boxing. My best friend, who I've been basically like... What people don't realise about me and Lyndon is we debuted on the same day on different small hall cards around the world. Like, our career has kind of went together. We was on GB together. We debuted on the same day. And we went little bit by little bit by little bit by little bit. Till, you know, okay, I was in a unification fight last week, and 7 days later, he's in a unification fight of his own, and you know what I mean, against the two best in the division. So yeah, that's what dreams are made of, really, and I'm proud of Lyndon, where he's come from, proud of myself, where I've come from. So yeah, I'm here.
Before we talk, Lyndon, I want to talk a little bit about yourself. 5 days on now, obviously we've seen the interviews that you've done afterwards. Very gracious in defeat. How do you feel now, 5 days on, Sonny?
I mean, same as before. I feel, like I said before, a little bit hard done by how early my eye went. He hit me with about 200 bigger shots. After that didn't do the same damage, so it was just one of those punch from the god types. Did a damage and it affected my eyesight, but you know, as a fighter, you have to play the cards you're dealt, and you know, the better man on the night won, so I can't be bitter about it. I've been relentlessly chasing big fights, competitive fights all through my career, and I will continue to do so. I knew Baum was a great fighter before, and I know he's a great fighter now. If I'm offered the rematch, if I'm offered a second chance, I'm 100% taking it, I'm not hesitating, and I feel like I would have every confidence that I'd win the fight. I feel like after the second round I had to box a certain way because I couldn't really see him, the range, things I usually pick up on to start missing a shot, avoiding a shot, sorry. I just couldn't see it. I was seeing double vision, so a bit hard done by for me in that sense that happened in the biggest fight of my life. But at the same time, my level of gratitude to be a part of such an event that to me it felt like world boxing stopped to watch. Like, it generally has felt like that. I've been here less than 24 hours. I think every single different fighters team has come over and spoke to me, people that I wouldn't even imagine would watch one of my fights. So when I came through, there was no platform really for flyweight boxing. There was no name to talk about or think about. I seen what my brother managed to achieve with the most amount of promotion through Eddie Hearn, and you know, he was fighting at like 7, 8 o'clock on big undercards, you know, as a world champion. So for us to go headline America, make loads of money, and the promotion, the build up, the anticipation, and the reaction after, like, more people have watched my fight against Bam than probably people have collectively watched every single one of my fights combined. So I'm grateful to be a part of it. I'm now one of the fighters of the storyline that I grew up watching, you know? Like, that's generally how my mind thinks.
You will never be one to care what people have got to say, but you've gone in there, people have always they'll always be naysayers. Can he take a punch? Will he go blow for blow? From round 2, you're seeing double vision and you're trading in the pocket with him, you're going punch for punch. Not that you'll care, like I say, that people, oh look, he can go blow for blow, but almost a pride in how valiant your performance was. Do you know what I mean?
Well, do you know what it is? I always try and win. After my eye went in the second round and I was seeing 2 of him, like I said, I couldn't judge the range. I didn't know if I was in range or out of range. When he was hitting me, I thought he couldn't. So it just made it a lot harder. I think the first round, everything up to the end of the first round went to perfect plan. My weight was fine, the camp was great, the build-up, fight week was enjoyable. I loved every minute of it. The show was great. And the first round, I thought I won. I thought everything was going to plan. I thought this was my moment. My eye went and it derailed it. I made the conscious decision halfway through the second round that I can't gauge whether he's there or not. So when he hits me, I'm hitting him back. You know what I mean? That was the only thing in my head, because it was the only way that I knew he was there. I didn't think he had to do too much spectacular. He just had to keep the work rate up and keep forcing me to work with him.
Forced to box his fight, right?
I don't think I was really forced. I think I kind of chose because of the eye. Like, if I tried standing off him and boxing, I would have just been missing wild and probably getting picked off from range and then moving back. Like, I wanted to win so bad that was the conscious decision I made, that if we're going now. Yeah, like I said, disappointed at how it ended, but at the same time grateful to be a part of such a big event, something that people genuinely cared about. And you know, people talking, I don't know, I leave it to them, but fight of the year and yada yada. I don't think I'd ever get mentioned in those conversations, but I watched it back and it was genuinely an exciting fight. High quality action, constantly both landing, slight adjustments, going again. And a fight I'd love to be a part of again. Like I said to Eddie after, Frank Smith, the only thing I care about is being a part of the event. So any opponent they want me to fight, I'm there. Like, I don't pick and choose. I don't try and go for easier routes. I don't go, well, actually, he's a bit harder, so I want a bit more money. Like, I really don't do any of that.
I was going to say, do you think even in that you had to force it? You tried to fight Martinez God knows how many times. We know the situation with the WBA belt, almost like it's being held hostage. And even this, right, you made the point in saying, look, I had to be B-side, really, in sort of on terms of the poster. They said after, I can't remember what fight it was, I will take this to London. Man's being papped in the background. We're getting the mic in as well, I can't lie.
Get that mic on.
Do you know what I'm saying, though? In terms of, like, you even forced that fight, right?
Yeah, in the sense of I was relentlessly gunning for it, but obviously when teaming up with Eddie, we both want the biggest fights and the biggest events, and I genuinely feel like I'm a headliner. I think that was the 8th or 9th show I've headlined. I've headlined on all different platforms, all different promoters, all different countries, so I'm only 27, about to turn 28. I've still got years left, and I know how to sell a fight. I know how to make people interested just by being myself and by saying a little bit more than people are usually willing to say. I think I would challenge anyone to point at a flyweight fight that was bigger than that they can remember. A bigger event, more people watching, tickets, so everything. Like, flyweights, naturally, we don't get the attraction, people wanting to see us fight. You know, we're 5'3" and it's way less than most women on the planet. You know what I mean? So it's a hard sell, but I feel like when I'm in the ring, it's not. You know.
And the build-up that comes with it, of course, you'll do that. Let me ask you: have you spoke to Eddie and Frank since? We know, obviously, what's the next move?
World titles, big fights only. Like, I don't need a 6-8 rounder to come back and get some confidence. I'll let my eye recover. Go see it.
Like a time frame on that at the minute?
No, so I went straight to the hospital after the fight. Said I had a medial orbital fracture, but it was happy enough for me to fly. They just said, look, go and see a specialist, and I'll let you know if they want you to do surgery. They think that they probably will, but I don't know. The way I sort of have gone through everything so far in my life is I let my body heal, and that's usually the best thing for me. So I'm half tempted to just let this heal. As long as there's nothing, you know, my vision's back fine. The double vision sort of went after I was not taking punches no more, do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, real fights only. I know I can make light fly. I know there's big fights at super fly. Okay, Bam is vacating apparently. I'm moving up weight.
Keep your position with the IBF, right?
I'm number 2 of the ring right now. I'll go back to number 1 if he moves up, and I'll, you know, the IBF, I defended the title 4 times, done everything they've ever asked of me. I know they like me as a champion. And with the IBF, you know, they usually push the champions back at title shots. So whether I go down to light flyweight and fight maybe for the IBF, the winner of not Shinga Curio maybe, to become a 2-weight world champion, or I just go straight back in flyweight and look for the world titles there. I said to Eddie, I said to Frank, I'll generally fight anyone, so you're the promoter, you pick what event you want, and I'm involved. Like, I'm not stupid, I know how much I'm worth, how much I bring to the table, etc. But at the same time, I don't price myself out, because the money isn't everything to me. The experience, the being a part of an event that people generally care about, that means as much to me as being the winner. That's one thing that people don't understand about me and my mindset. That even getting out of the ring of a hard fight, that I ended up being stopped, and the loser of my love for boxing has probably never been higher, genuinely, and I just can't wait to get back in, genuinely.
Well, you are here supporting your man Lyndon Arthurs. It's a big ask against Dmitry Bivol, a pound for pound great. What are your thoughts going into it? Can he do it?
Well, I had in my head that one of us was going to be unified, and I didn't do it, so now he's got to go do it. Do you know what I mean?
No pressure, Lyndon.
Look, it's a fight, man. There's two men, two arms, two legs. Lyndon can really bang, and he's got a lot of heart, and he loves fighting, just like me. So, of course, he's up against the best fighter in the world, pretty much, one of the top 5 pound for pound on pretty much everyone's list. Of course, you are up against it, but you know, from where we come from the sort of places that we come from, the opportunities that, you know, we both from GB together. I got laughed at when I turned pro. No one thought Lyndon was going to do anything, and we probably had 2 of the better careers out of the whole of, you know, our age range, like our group, really. So, you know, I'm proud of us, and yeah, I think this is a fight you couldn't turn down, an event that you couldn't turn down. But genuinely, I feel like if Lyndon hits anyone, he can hurt him, and that's anyone on the planet. All he's got to do is get his feet down and throw at the right time, and he can really take someone's head off, and he's shown that even when he's tired, even when he's getting hurt. So, yeah, of course, Bivol is probably the standard of elite at light heavyweight. Probably, he'd be my number one. But this is the nights we live for. Who knows? Who knows what Bivol's coming in? Let's go.
Just lastly from me, there's been a lot of talk about Anthony Joshua this week, the media around you and everything. What do you make of it? He's got a tough southpaw ahead of him. We believe the deal is done in place for March for that bout with Deontay Wilder. A little pressure. They've made the mistake of doing that before with other fighters, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's boxing, man. There's going to be cameras, there's going to be other fighters. When you're the top of the tree, you're the target. People think he's a bit easier work now than they did maybe a few years ago, but people have always wanted to fight AJ because, you know, since his inception into the pro game, especially when he won the world title, he has been the money fight in the division, and still remains to be, because he's the most marketed, he's the most well-known. You know, you can't really go a day without seeing AJ on a 17-foot billboard or postboard, so somewhere, like whether it's in a Lynx bottle or a Lucozade, a Lynx can or a Lucozade bottle, or a big Hugo Boss advert or saying he is everywhere. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, if anyone can deal with the pressure, you'd think it has to be him. But at the same time, you know, it must be hard carrying the whole weight of the world on his shoulders and being in the position he's in. So, obviously, he's a good friend of mine. I think Wallin's a dangerous opponent. I think it's a decent fight. I think Wallin showed when he stepped up that he's ready to go against the big boys. So I think Joshua needs to be switched on. But if he lets his hands go how we all know he can, I think he takes his head off.
Sonny, my brother, always a pleasure. Good to speak to you out in Saudi Arabia. Thank you for speaking to us at Boxing Social.
We need to think of a new advert for freebets.com.
Get your best betting offers from freebets.com.
Yeah, that'll do.
The following deals are now live.